When we want to keep stretching simple and efficient, we want to stretch muscles in chains. So our body's actually designed with muscles in chains. We have muscles, chains of muscles from, our forehead, neck, all the way down the back to the bottoms of the feet. We have chains in front. So from our front all the way down, we have spiral chains around us for rotation. So when we want to have simple, efficient stretching, we want to stretch multiple areas and chains of muscles instead of single muscles or single movements at a time. So in this video, let's go through 3 of those stretches. So the first one is a hip flexor stretch. We're going to stretch the anterior, or the front chain of muscles. So with this, we want to have our half kneeling stance. So we're kneeling on a nice pad. You can use a pillow at home. 1 foot up, 1 foot back, and then we're going to tuck the butt, ribs down, and come forward. So you should feel a stretch in front of the hip there. That's one of the top things that I see people do wrong, is they don't brace the core. So they arch and lean forward, which really doesn't stretch the hip flexors as much as bracing the core, ribs down, butt tucked, and then come forward. So we'll come forward there, get my watch going. You just stretch. You should feel it right through here primarily. You might feel a little bit down in the quad. For added stretch, you can raise one arm. Again, that's stretching the whole chain. If you want, you can add both arms. So we're starting to get the shoulders into it a little bit. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can see I'm kind of going into a deep stretch and then back out. Into a deep stretch and then back out. It's okay to move around in a stretch, or just stretch and hold, but don't bounce. So we got a minute on that side. Now we can switch to a minute on the other side. So same thing, our half kneel stance, ribs down, butt tucked. And then you can come forward, raise the arm to stretch the whole chain. You can also lean away from that side to get a little extra stretch. You can be intuitive, move around a little bit. Try to find those tight spots and go into the tight spots. Just relax into the stretch. We don't want to fight the stretch. We don't want to guard. That's also, if we bounce in a stretch, it'll make our body stiffen and guard. So we won't improve our range of motion, which is the whole point of stretching. And then we'll switch back to the other side. Again, ribs down, butt tucked, and then come forward to stretch the front. Raise up, you can tilt away. That way we're getting the shoulders. You might feel a little stretch in the lats and the side, and a little extra stretch in the hip flexors. This is great to battle all the sitting that we do in our society. Sit on the commute to work, sit at work maybe. Sit on the commute home. These muscles get very stiff. And as it loosens up over the course of 1 or 2 minutes, you can go a little bit deeper. And then we'll switch to the other side. Core getting in the way. Ribs down, butt tucked, and then come forward. If you need for balance, you can have like a chair or something for a handhold, that's fine. You can do it next to the sofa. And this one, make sure you have a nice, either thick mat, exercise mat, or a nice pillow to kneel on, so you're not kneeling on like a hard floor if you got a hard floor. Or maybe you have shag rug. I don't know. Raising that arm and leaning away. Get that full stretch. We're doing 2 rounds of a minute. So we're just accumulating, we're building up 2 minutes worth of stretching, which is what research shows gets more oxygen to the muscles, helps them loosen up. Okay, so we stretched out our front chain. The next one that we'll do, we'll stretch out the rear chain, the posterior chain. So we can come down to hands and knees. We go up onto the toes, push away, and then reach the butt to the sky. So this is a downward dog. This will stretch the calves in back of the lower leg, the hamstrings. Make sure we're not rounding the back. Try to keep the back straight. Push your hands into the floor as you reach the butt for the sky. Nice and relaxed. You can move around a little bit. Put a little more weight with one heel to the floor. Then push the other heel to the floor. Just don't bounce. Can bring the chest towards the feet. Stretch those shoulders out. I don't know about you, I'm actually a little shaky in this. And we'll come out of it. Give the arms a little break. And then we'll go back up to the feet. Push the floor away as you reach the butt for the sky. Getting everything loosened up. Can do this in the morning for a warm up for the day, or at the end of the day to relax and just chill out, or before your workout to loosen up and get ready. Make sure your head's nice and relaxed. We don't want to be lifting up, looking at stuff. And then we'll come back down. So now we've stretched the front and the rear. Now we'll go on to a good hip stretch. So this one, you bring a foot up. So your lower leg is kind of going across. It's okay if you start a little bit less than across. You might be high. You might need to have hands on if you have yoga blocks. You can raise up if that's a stretch. Over time, you can let the hips sink down towards the floor, and you can move around to get that leg a little bit more going across. But this is a great stretch. This is the pigeon stretch. It's great for stretching out the hips, the rotation. You're actually also getting a little bit of hip flexor on the leg that's back too. Just relax into that. And then we'll come up, we'll switch to the other side. It's fine if you need to use your hand and maneuver it around. And just relax down. Can move around, move your hips, kind of turn your hips away from that leg, or you can turn the hips towards that leg. See where the tight spots are. We don't want a ton of hip pinching. You just want a nice stretch. If you feel any torque in the knee, you can pull the toes back like that, and that'll help support the knee a little bit. You can also just put a little bit more pressure towards the knee. That'll limit that rotational force. And then we'll come up, switch back to the other side. Over time, you can kind of relax, sink the hips down a little bit more Again, you might be high, you might be up here. And then over time of doing this every day, you really want to do once or twice a day. It'll sink down, loosen up. Then you can stay nice and tall and start to come forward for a little bit more stretch. Just listen to your body. You want to find a stretch where you feel it, but you can relax into it. It's loosening up. You're not fighting your body and guarding. And then we'll come up to the other side one more time. So stretching is more of a short-term neurologic effect for the most part. It just gets the muscles to relax. So for the best results, you really want to do this once or twice a day. It's fine if all you got is like 3 times a week. Do whatever you can. If you don't have time for the full 2 minutes, you can just hit a minute for each stretch and move on. It's always better to do something rather than nothing. Just relaxing into that stretch. Again, you can move around, find the tight spots. So again, try these stretches. You can just follow right along once or twice a day, 1 to 2 minutes each stretch. You can do more stretching than this, but these are at least 3 big chain-based, we're working stretching muscles in chains to help you get started.